Shalom. I like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, preaching this word with truth and sincerity. This is coming back in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And I came across a couple of news articles that I'm going to go through, get some scripture, and Lord's willing, this will be edifying. There's just more proof that the Lord is visiting this place. And I say this place, I'm talking about Babylon, a.k.a. America. You know, judgment is going out every day. This is from CNN. And this is published yesterday. It says they said they were utility workers, but when they left the house, the wife was dead. Salakia, the wife was tied up, and the husband was dead. It says a Michigan man has been charged with felony murder after he and another individual allegedly impersonated utility workers before killing a man and tying up his wife, according to local authorities. Let me see. And there's a video too. Let me see if it'll play.
Explore endless design possibilities.
Lock it for the ads.
Find your personal style. Endless hardy siding colors, textures, and styles. It's possible with James Hardy.
Or DTE. We're checking for gas leaks.
All right, so you can see the outfits look real, but authorities in Michigan say those men are not the utility workers they claim to be. And when they left the house, a woman was duct taped and her husband was found dead in the basement. CNN's Gloria Pazmino joins us from New York. You've been following this story, and as I understand, authorities have arrested one of the men seen in that video. What do we know?
That's right, Omar. One suspect has been apprehended and another one remains at large. And the way in which police say that this happened is what's so disturbing about it, right? Police in Rochester Hills, Michigan say the two suspects were impersonating utility workers. They arrived at this house last week claiming to be working for the local utility company and that they were checking on a gas leak. Now, they did this once the night before, but they were not allowed in. Then they returned the next day, and that is when 72-year-old Hussein Murray allowed them into the house and into the basement where they were supposedly checking for that leak. Now, police say that is where these two men allegedly killed Murray, and his wife, who was also at the house at the same time, was tied up with duct tape. She was eventually able to call 911, and she believed that her husband had been kidnapped. Now, as you see in the video, it shows the two utility workers arriving at the door. You can see that the man appears to be flashing a clipboard that has the logo of the company, that there's another man in the background, and you hear he identifies himself as a utility worker. Now, police apprehended Carlos Hernandez on Saturday. He was pulled over while driving south in Louisiana, so hundreds of miles from where this incident took place. And sheriff's deputies there spotted a vehicle that matched the same description of the car that he was seen driving. He is in custody and has been booked on multiple warrants in Ohio, as well as the charge from Michigan. Now, police are asking for the public's help to find the second suspect. They say that if people may have video or anything they might have seen from the night of the incident last week, to please share it with them. In the meantime, we also received a statement from the company, DTE in Michigan, saying that their hearts go out to the victims of this horrific and tragic event, and we hope the perpetrators are quickly apprehended and brought to justice. Before DTE makes a routine visit to your home, we will make every effort to contact you in advance. A really important reminder there, Omar, that if there is ever a utility worker that shows up to your doorstep, you are able to call your local utility company and just confirm that they're supposed to be there before you open that door.
There you have it. A lot of judgment going out in Babylon. These people are going crazy. It says a Michigan man has been charged with felony murder after he and another individual allegedly impersonated utility workers before killing a man and tying up his wife, according to local authorities. Carlos Jose Hernandez, a resident of Dearborn, Michigan, was charged with felony murder and 2 counts of unlawful imprisonment, according to a Sunday news release from the Oakland County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. It says Hernandez was pulled over and arrested in Louisiana on Saturday afternoon. He has been taken into custody without incident in Shreveport, Louisiana on Saturday. He was booked on multiple armed robbery warrants out of Ohio, as well as a homicide warrant out of Michigan, according to the release. Yeah, so these people are running amok. It says the man who has been identified as Hussein Murray, a 72-year-old from Rochester Hills, Michigan. The man who was killed has been identified as Hussein Murray, a 72-year-old from Rochester Hills, Michigan, the Oakland County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post. Yeah, so these people are going crazy. Let me get a preset. Matter of fact, yeah, I start. There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, and that's what you're seeing. 2nd Ezra 15 and chapter 15, the 15th chapter and the 16th chapter is playing out right before your very eyes. You know, sedition being rebellion against the government through conduct and speech. You know, they're not regarding the mayors, the governors, none of that. As a matter of fact, let me get another preset before I continue. This is what I wanted to get. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what you're seeing. These people are running amok, doing whatever they feel, doing whatever comes to their mind. You know? As a matter of fact, let me see something real quick. Let me see if I could get that in the GNT. Yeah. There's 2nd Ezra 15. Oh, Salakia. Let me see if Salakia. Yeah. You gotta go through all these hoops and obstacles just to get to a preset. But that's why it says this is a labor of love. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14 in the GNT. The world and the people in it are doomed. Let's skip down to verse 16. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. Yeah, like it says, there'll be great political turmoil, and one group trying to overpower another. Matter of fact, that's not what I wanted. Salakia. Actually, I wanted to get Matthews again. There's Matthew chapter 24, verse 12 in the GNT. It says, such will be the spread of evil that many people's love will grow cold. And that's what you're seeing. Everybody's having a cold heart towards one another in the streets. But that's even besides the problem. I got another article I wanted to get into. This is from Fox News. It says Arizona man found dead in Starbucks bathroom after allegedly shooting himself. I'm not going to play any video here. But it says police in Arizona say a man shot and killed himself in a Starbucks restroom on Saturday. According to Gilbert, police witnesses at the Starbucks location said a man was acting erratically and pointed a gun at a person in the store. They said the man reportedly walked into the bathroom at the establishment. Several of the witnesses reported that they subsequently heard gunshots. And Gilbert SWAT was called to the store where they discovered the man dead in the bathroom from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. It says all employees and customers evacuated the business and none of them reported any injuries. Yeah, so you got a guy offed himself. He basically committed suicide. You know? Just bringing up. Let me see. There's the book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Yeah, and that's what you're seeing. In the blue letter, the word Lord is in all capital letters. I let you know they're talking about the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. He mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. And Egypt is a code word for America, because this is spiritually Sodom in Egypt. You know, it tells you that in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, and Exodus, the 20th chapter. That this is Egypt, the house of bondage. So everybody's making mistakes, or not mistakes, but everybody's causing judgment, and it ultimately is coming from the Heavenly Father. Let me get a quick precept. Of the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Yeah, every morning the Lord bringing his judgment to light, as you're seeing with these articles. And the unjust knows no shame. You know? Like it tells you in the book of, I believe that's Proverbs, the 28th chapter, evil men understand not judgment. You know, you can't make this stuff up. Got another article. This is from BBC News. It says woman jailed for killing parents and hiding bodies. Let me see if this one will play.
Yep.
The time is 12:12. You're under arrest on suspicion of murder.
I need to tell you something about what's upstairs on the top floor as well.
Yes, fine.
Salakia for the buffering.
Floor as well.
Yes, fine. Yeah.
Yes,
mind your feet.
my dad's body's in there.
Right, okay.
Yep, okay. Obviously I'll
Where about your mum?
a little bit more complicated.
Where will we find your mum?
Well, possible.
Where will we find your mum?
Okay, so upstairs there are about 5 wardrobes.
Yep.
It's behind the bed, but back next to the sink. He didn't drink all of them. He only drank probably about half of 2. But yeah, when I went in the morning, this was before my mother, came in and he was gone. I did know that this would kind of come eventually. It's proper that I serve my punishment. Cheer up, at least you caught the bad guy. I mean, I deserve to obviously get whatever's coming sentence-wise, because that's the right thing to do. And that might give me a bit of peace.
The next bit is very hard to talk about. That's probably the most grisly detail. There's a hammer. It's in the middle underneath the stairs. It will still have blood on it. It's rusted, but it will still have blood traces on it.
Yeah, well, there you go. This is a manipulative woman who murdered her parents and lived alongside the bodies for 4 years in their family home has been jailed for life. The remains of Lois and John McCullough, aged 71 and 70, were found in sleeping bags at their house in Great Beddoe, Essex, in September 2023. It says Virginia McCullough I guess that was the woman that you seen in the video, admitted fatally poisoning her father and placing him in a homemade mausoleum and stabbing her mother to death in June 2019. It says the defendant, who told police, "Cheer up, at least you've caught the bad guy," will have to serve a minimum term of 36 years before being considered for release. Here's the picture of her parents. Look to be Edomites. She ran up large debts on credit cards in her parents' names, and after their deaths, she continued to spend their pensions. Yeah, it sounds like a Edomite. But you know, she could be a Jake. Who knows? Not jumping to any conclusions, but either way, I through the spirit, I believe she's an Edomite. To be honest, doing some crap like that. But in this day and age, you got Israelites that would do some sick, sinister stuff like that as well. Matter of fact, let me get this. Just for that. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight? which he hath made crooked. Yeah, and the so-called white man is crooked. You know, he's sinister, he's evil, he's demonic. He's all of that wrapped into one. And so is the so-called white woman. You know, an apple don't fall far from the tree. Matter of fact, that just came to mind. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 23. And it reads, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard change his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil." Yeah, and that's that and the answer to those first two questions is no. Ethiopian cannot change his skin. A leopard cannot change his spots. So those that are accustomed to doing evil, which is Esau, so-called white man, he cannot do good. It's practically impossible. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Yeah, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 12. It says, "Honor thy father and thy mother, and that thy days be long upon the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee." It also says it in Deuteronomy. This is the books of the law. "Honor thy father and thy mother as the Lord thy power, as the Yahweh thy power hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee." So you are commanded as an Israelite to honor thy mother and thy father. And what does the Edomite do? She poisons her father and then stabs up her mother. You know? These Edomites got a lot to pay for. Matter of fact, let me get in the Apocrypha. This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5. "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods." Yeah, so if the Edomite isn't good to their own people, how are you going to expect them to be good to you? You shouldn't. Like it tells you in Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Yep, and there you go. I got one more. This is from the New York Post. It says, "Armed man Van Miller arrested outside Trump's Coachella rally as local sheriff insists." Salakia. As local sheriff insists it was third assassination attempt, despite letting Perp walk on meager $5,000 bail. You know, I don't know how true this is. I don't know if this was staged or not. It seems to be staged because they let him walk on $5,000 bail. But either way, the global elites don't want Trump to win and get in office again. I guess because he said that if he gets in office, that Epstein report, that Epstein list is going to get leaked, and you're going to find out who was on that island. You know, those billionaires don't want that. says local cops arrested an armed man outside the Donald Trump rally in California on Saturday, and the local sheriff has doubled down on claims that a third assassination attempt was prevented, even though he let the suspect walk after posting a meager bail for gun charges. Says Miller was caught at a police checkpoint allegedly trying to enter the rally with a phony press pass. When cops noticed his car was unregistered, they searched the vehicle and discovered a cache of fake passports and driver's licenses, along with a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and a high-capacity magazine. Said he was booked on weapons charges and sprung after posting $5,000 bail, but the sheriff turned around and told the Riverside Press Enterprise that his department had all but saved Trump's life. I guess here's the picture of that guy that supposedly was going to take Trump's life. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I think it's a sham. Let me get one more preset just to go with. Matter of fact, going to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 6 says, "Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place." Yeah, and the rich that is talking about, is talking about the Israelites. You know, like you could read about the rich in faith in the book of Revelation. It says the rich in faith. That's how we're rich. We're spiritually rich, because in Esau's society, we're not rich. You do have some Israelites that are rich, but that are carnally rich, but they don't have the spiritual riches. I'd rather be spiritually rich than carnally rich. Because like it says in the book of Matthew, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And that's what I want. I want the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, but folly is set in great dignity. There's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, and one of his devices is the media, which goes back to medium, which is witchcraft. You know? He put out a story and you don't even know whether it's true or not. Especially in this day and age with cameras being everywhere, you don't know whether or not it was true that guy was going to assassinate Trump. But they're writing the story to control the narrative. So who knows? And in the NLT, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his evil schemes. Matter of fact, let me see what it says in the GNT. Yeah, this thing is annoying. Salakia, bear with me. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11 in the GNT. In order to keep Satan from getting the upper hand over us, for we know what his plans are. Yeah, his plans is to control the narrative. And ultimately to control the people with that, that micro C hip. Crashing the dollar, the currency. So to bring in the CBDC, and then that'll lead to the MOTB. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know? But Lord's willing, you was edified. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect.